Bonjour à tous, hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome back fellow adventure seekers to yet another adventure in the middle of Swiss Alps. Today's adventure is at a very famous location, yet very less visited. And for me, it is a very long awaited one. Today I will be visiting the famous Fründenhütte, which is located straight above the Oeschinensee, which is probably one of the most famous mountain lakes in Switzerland. Even though the Oeschinensee is super popular, not a lot of people know about the Fründenhütte, because it is a bit difficult to reach and kind of preserved for some avid nature lovers like us who loves to explore the hidden corners of the Alps. Some years back, while hiking this super popular Oeschinensee circular trail, I came across the marker of Fründenhütte. And this is what I said. That hut is in my to-do for some time now, along with the Monterosa hut. It will not happen today, of course. We will go to Oeschinensee by taking the trail traversing the lake. But one day. I'm so happy that I'm back today and I will be visiting this amazing mountain hut that I've been waiting for many years. By the way, if you have not seen our Oeschinensee short film, I would strongly recommend that you watch it. I've given the link of it somewhere there, I never remember where. But I can promise that you have never seen such a cinematic view of this amazing lake. Anyway, we have a long to go. Now let's chop and I will explain you some more details on the way. So, let's go. I started early to get the far-planned cable car in utmost tranquility. Oeschinensee is probably one of the most beautiful lakes of alpine Swiss. But it does get uncomfortably crowded. So, the idea is to cross Oeschinensee as early as possible and leave the crowd behind. So far, the route is quite empty and I'm enjoying this light hike. The beautiful glacial river feels refreshing on hot summer days. Finally, I can see my destination. Up above that mountain cliff residing the mighty Fründenhütte. The cows are enjoying their usual picnic. I finally crossed the lake and on my way to take the fork, leaving the rather popular Oeschinensee circular trail. This route has much less crowd, and that is exactly how I enjoy my mountain experience. Right, so that part of the hike is in front of us. Now, this is the only place where the hike becomes kind of T4 instead of T3. The whole route is actually pretty good. You do not need any special equipment for that. But this part goes quite close to the lake and with a very thin, very thin route with chains on the side. And honestly, if you are sure-footed, you wouldn't need any special equipment. But for me, the backpack is quite heavy, and if you move a little bit, if you just put a wrong step, the backpack kind of pulls you towards the side, and if that happens, then it can easily pull me in the lake, and it's at least 300, 400, 500 meters drop from there, so it will be quite fatal. Hence, I try to be safer than sorry. If I didn't have the backpack, I would have probably not opted for it. All these equipments are heavy, you have to carry all these things. And the hut recommends you to use the Via Ferrata set here. But again, as I said, if you are sure-footed, it's probably not a mandatory thing. I want it to be safer than sorry. Right, now let's go and let me show you how beautiful that little route looks like. Allons-y! Finally, the most interesting part of the hike is just ahead of me. Exciting time. And I have a king's view from here. The lake, the waterfall, the rock climbers, and some hikers ahead. While on the subject, a bit on Via Ferrata itself. A Via Ferrata, which is translated as Iron Path in Italian, is a protected climbing route in Alps and certain other alpine regions. The protection includes steel fixes such as cable or railings or sometimes even ladders. The origins of the Via Ferrata date back to the 19th century. but they're often associated with the First World War, when several of these were built in the Dolomite mountain region of Italy to aid the movement of troops. This is not one of those complicated via ferratas, but the route through the corner of the rock is really interesting, and the sheer drop on the lake is fabulous. Amazing adventure. I'm loving it, but this is not for the faint-hearted. The ridge walk is not yet over, so I decided to keep the protection on. The path is still quite narrow, but the view is stunning. Time to time, these little challenges are making this path even more interesting. Finally, a steep climb down to mark the end of the adventurous section of the hike. But the actual climb is in front of me. Based on my study, the complicated part is over. So the so-called via ferrata is over. So it is time to get rid of this super complicated materials and walk freely. Okay, this one seems to be stuck. And the hut is still a good 1.5 hours or 2 hours from here. But the complicated part or the more strenuous part is starting here, because I think I have to go up somewhere there, and it is like 2.5, 3 kilometers, and I have to climb close to 1,000 meters. But it's around 1:30. The dinner is served at around 6:30, so I have ample time. Anyway, there is not much to do after you reach the hut, but I shouldn't miss the dinner. The dinner at the mountain huts are amazing, especially after all this complicated hike and all this strenuous climbing. So, let's go. The route continues with the marking of white-blue. Several fresh water streams are on the way. It feels like a grand welcome of nature. And the lake seems like walking with me. The route has a lot of wild alpine rose patches, making the experience even more elegant. The journey through the flat continues, with some ascents to cross streams and lovely water bodies all around. The terrain was so far quite civilized. The actual steep part is kind of starting now. I can see some people going up. It's quite steep. So it's probably a good time to get something to eat before I climb the steep part. And if you guys are taking food or other things on the mountain, make sure that you throw nothing. Carry every rubbish back with you. If you are not, I have my eyes on you. Time to climb the steep ascent. The view of the lake is still pretty epic. Now I'm almost entering the layer of low cloud. The weather has already started becoming tricky, and the sun is playing hide and seek with me. This route is new. Before, the route was on the other side of the lake. So with that route, we could only traverse the lake 1/4 and could reach the hut. And I think that route was a little bit simpler as well. But due to COVID lockdown, what am I saying? It seems COVID will never leave us. Due to rockfall, they had to close down that route, and then this other route has been inaugurated. This is quite a lot longer because you have to cross the lake almost 3/4 to get there, and it's a little bit more difficult as well. Well, difficult, it's an easy via ferrata, I would say. But I must say that the Swiss SAC, the organization that is maintaining all the mountain huts and all different mountain trails, do a very, very good job. Thanks to them, all those trails are maintained and we can explore these amazing natural beauties. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult to reach to these top places. So, thank you, Swiss SAC. Oh, it's steep. Thank God the road is made kind of zigzag, and it has actually converted to white-blue kind of trip 3 here, because as I said that the last part of the trail is quite well built. Now look at that view. It's incredible, right? And we are still a lot of height to cover. From the top it must be really stunning. But most of the people do not come here to enjoy the view. They actually come here to climb many of the mountains which can be climbed by making the hut as a base camp. The Doldenhorn, Fründenhütte, Oeschinensee, like that, there are a bunch of peaks that you can actually climb by staying at the hut at night and start early morning. Well, I'm not gonna do any of them. I'm just gonna enjoy the hospitality of the hut and the view from there. Right, now let's continue. The play of cloud is a constant today, and the hut is just above that rock. Some latecomers are already catching me because I'm stopping too many times for photography. Woohoo! Finally, I made it to the hut, and the view from here is pretty insane. Even though it's getting a bit cloudy out, but it's quite stunning. Okay, now let's get into the hut, secure the place I have booked, and see if I can catch some sunset. Even though it's getting pretty cloudy, but those movement of the cloud could be interesting. Let's see. While I secure the logistics, I'll let you enjoy the natural show. So that's it for the day. What an amazing day I had. The hike was stunning. The light could have been better, but I like low cloud movements, so I really enjoyed how the low clouds are passing through the mountains. Sometimes it's getting covered, sometimes it's coming out. It's really, really stunning. Right, so good night for now, and hopefully we'll see you at sunset with some good light. No idea, because now it's all covered. Let's see what happens. So, ciao, and see you tomorrow. Good morning. Beautiful. All the low clouds have passed by. The mountains are clearly visible. Even though I'm not very sure if this is a place for sunrise, because the sun is gonna rise from behind the mountain, and in the sunset normally those mountains should be lit by the golden light of the sun. But yesterday it was all cloud covered, but I did get a good picture of the lake with the sun going down with a kind of orangish beam coming out of the gaps in the cloud. Let me show you that picture. Quite amazing, right? Anyway, now let's see what we can do for the sunrise. And I can see some of our mountain goat friends are kind of going around here. They're so close. Normally they are shy. They don't come so close. But now they are very close to us. Anyway, let's see what we can get from the sunrise. That's it. My long-awaited visit to the Fründenhütte has come to an end. The amazing view of the lake, the easy via ferrata, and great hospitality of the hut made it a special trip. I have enjoyed it thoroughly. I hope that you have also enjoyed the same way as I did. If you did so, please give a thumbs up. It really means a world to me. And if you have not done it already, please subscribe and press that bell icon to get notification of our upcoming adventures. So, ciao for now, and see you at another corner of the world. Till then, keep exploring.